I have notice of a request for an emergency debate from the honourable member for Elmwood-Transcona.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm rising today in accordance with Standing Order 52 Sub 2 to propose an emergency debate on the use of a central vote, in this case Treasury Vote 40 in the main estimates 2018-19, to fund all new budget initiatives. And if I could, I'd just like to take a brief moment to explain the timing of this request and the importance of the debate, not just to parliamentarians, Mr. Speaker, but also, I believe, to you. On the timing, the new central vote, Vote 40, was proposed in the main estimates, but we just learned a little bit more about it on Thursday with the minister at committee, and specifically what we learned was that he's already contemplating making changes to the form of the Appropriations Act foreseen in main estimates 2018-2019. So we're not actually exactly sure what form that's going to take. We also learned that he's not committed to consulting opposition parties prior to making that change. And we learned that he does not intend to move for a take-note debate in this House so that Parliament has the opportunity to discuss this fully prior to the tabling of the appropriations bill. The importance of that for parliamentarians is that there is no mechanism prior to dispensing with the main estimates in Committee of the Whole to be able to have a full parliamentary debate. The minister, of course, mentioned opposition days and some other mechanisms, but there's no routine way for that legislation to come before the House, and it is a very significant change. So I think it's important that parliamentarians have the opportunity to weigh in before decisions are taken and before they're asked to grant that authority. I think it's important for you, Mr. Speaker, because if the wording of that bill is not sufficient, it may create a situation where you're being asked to rule in under very short time constraints, and I think you would benefit from hearing the various point of views, both from government and from the opposition parties, about the relative merits of this new mechanism, so that you have time to contemplate how it would work. There are also other matters having to do with the central vote that may come to your attention in the next little while, having to do with how funding all of these new budget initiatives out of one central vote affect the existing procedure for studying main estimates. Normally, proposals are brought to subject expert committees through departmental estimates, but under the new process, all of these things seem to perhaps have to be studied at the Government Operations Committee under Treasury Board, and as committees start to figure out that they may not be able to study new budget initiatives in the normal way, those procedural issues may well be brought to your attention. So I think it's urgent that you have the opportunity to be able to hear what's on the mind of parliamentarians with respect to this new mechanism, so that you can prepare to make rulings on this on the consequences of this new mechanism for parliamentary procedure. Thank you very much.
I thank the member for Elmwood-Transcona for raising his request and explaining his request for an emergency debate. However, I do not find that it meets the strict requirements of the standing order.